going, everybody? Welcome to week 5. We just got one more to go this week. We're slowing down a little bit. Um, just a quiz this week. No other assignments. Just going to take this week to work through this material. If there's some things you need to go back and look at from the earlier parts of the summer session, please feel free to go do that as well. I looked over everyone's discussion posts yesterday. Good job. Good use of the course materials, course readings. That's kind of one of the elements of thinking historically or being a historian, is using these primary sources and letting these kind of show us how the world was back then in the past. So, like Islamic readings, the Quran shapes Muslims' world, much like the Bible or the Tanakh shape Jewish or Christian worlds, or the Bhagavad Gita shapes Hinduism, those kind of things. You can kind of see those. Similar with Tang poetry; those were very popular. A lot of people in Tang China would be familiar with these people. Confucian ideas, even today, a lot of people; those are still very prominent literary figures, thinkers. And then Tale of Genji is still. Genji is a major figure within Japanese culture in the Heian period. So good job on kind of putting all that stuff together. This week we're looking at another sort of exchange network in the Indian Ocean between sort of Africa, the Middle East, South Asia. South Asia is a pivot point there with Southeast Asia. So we looked at some of those areas as maritime connections, the formation of smaller kingdoms, and with those we have this as the lecture sort of talked about, this explosion of temple construction. That was kind of these kings of these smaller kingdoms showed their projected their power by the ability to harness the resources, both human and material, and commercially, economically, all of those resources to build these vast monuments. They're all over India, associated with a lot of different kingdoms there. Allura, I gave an Ajanta, I gave a little video of. Gave some pictures, some other ones. Angkor Wat, there's a video about Angkor Wat, kind of the largest of these temple complexes in this period of world history, is in now modern day Cambodia. Really fascinating. The video, please give it a watch. It's really fascinating, the fact that it talks about how these religious centers were also political, but also very social and economic. That as you watch that movie or that video, explains sort of how integrated these worlds are. And it's really cool. I mean, Angkor Wat's a great site. Haven't been there, but I have a buddy right now who's there. I want to go. Maybe if they go back, I'll tag along. And then the last part there, then the next lesson is kind of looking at the Africa, the Americas, and Oceania, what was going on there, kind of circa 1000 CE, kind of up in there, and I broke it down within regions. Again, the one thing, please, if you walk out of this class, don't ever say Africa is a country, it's a continent. I think there's 53 nations in Africa. It's very diverse. It's just not this like monolithic world. I mean, there's North Africa, West Africa, South Africa, Central Africa, East Africa. They're all very distinct. Some we have large empires being formed in like West Africa, Mansa Musa, spread of Islam, both in West Africa and East Africa. A lot of trading ports in East Africa that connected with the Indian Ocean. Kingdoms of Great Zimbabwe. I gave a lot of videos for this one because I think it's just cool to look at these sites. And then the Americas, again, North, Central, and South, kind of have their own sort of worlds amongst themselves. North America, again, very diverse. Think about all of the different sort of environmental zones in North America. From the deserts of Arizona to the Great Lakes to southern Florida to the Pacific Northwest. Humans by 1000 CE, by 0 CE, really. Humans had settled in every part of those worlds, both managing the resources there, early farming. Some places set up larger urban centers. Cahokia, I gave a video of right there on the Mississippi. But all of them were very diverse, had their own languages, had their own cultures and their ideas. So I gave, again, a lot of readings and videos about there rather than just sort of talking about it. I thought it was more important to show it. Central America, sort of that's where you get these larger kingdom state centers. Mayans were one of the earliest ones, Toltecs, Olmecs, and then ultimately the Aztecs and Tenochtitlan the capital there. Gave some videos about that. And then South America, the sort of southern Andes was always a very important site of a lot of settlements long and use of agriculture with potatoes. And the Amazon, we're still learning about it right now. Actually, I just read some interesting things this summer, so I'll add that to that lecture about human sort of topographical manipulations of the Amazon and to build their own soil to create much. We're kind of the Amazon grew over a lot of this stuff. We're starting to recover some of the early history of Amazon as well. Then Oceania, also very fascinating. Last time we were there was Lapita. Now we're shifting into Tahiti, Hawaii. What were these ideas that were brought there? These canoe plants, the social systems, kapu or tapu system, new forms of religion, Pele, and all of them start coming in and spreading throughout Oceania. So there's sort of connections within Oceania Pacific worlds as well. Nan Mandol sort of is an interesting capital of the Sandalar dynasty there in Khorasan. So yeah, I think that's it. There's a quiz this week. I think it's lectures 9 through 13. Take a look at those. Yeah, I think you should be pretty familiar with how the quizzes are now. Pretty straightforward. So yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. And have a good rest of your week.